Hey guys, in this video I'm going to review this Rheem hybrid water heater. This particular model is 80 gallons version with shut-off valve installed. And first, let's review water connection. How do we connect this unit to hot and cold water? Usually in the water heaters, hot outlet and cold water inlet connecting from the top, but for this unit, because it's hybrid, and hybrid means it can heat water with regular resistance elements, or it can use heat pump to heat water. So on the top of this unit, heat pump installed, and the cold water inlet was moved down. So here's the cold water inlet, and the hot water outlet is right here. So this is hot water outlet. For cold water, it has this valve, and in the previous versions of these water heaters, sensor, leak sensor, you need to place this somewhere in the pan. It was like external sensor, but in this particular model, in the 5th generation, this leak sensor built into water heater. So this red wire going around water heater is a leak sensor. So it's very sensitive. When installation was happening, it was like few, not drops, but some amount of water, like just a little bit amount of water, and it did sense this water and shut off cold water inlet. You have option to do it manually if you just press and turn, or using application you can override this valve. So if it's closed, you can override, so it will open. Then here's a pressure relief valve, and this blue pump is not part of Rheem water heater. It's addition that I installed. This is what's recirculating pump, which helps to keep water always warm in all pipes in the house. Then on the top, right here, we have this PVC pipe, which is condensate line. So when heat pump working, it's gonna condensate, like remove moisture from air, and it will route this moisture to this PVC pipe. In my case, I'm going to route this to my main drain. Right now it's not connected anywhere. I was running test, and just in case you want to know how much water this water heater producing in 24 hours, I did this test, and it was filling 2 bottles of water, and this bottle is 500 milliliters or 16.9 fluid ounces. So in 1 hour it was 2 bottles, so that means 1 liter or 33.8 fluid ounces. I'm going to connect this water heater to this flexible vinyl tube, which is gonna go to my main drain. So if we look at on the top, electrical connection is right here. Also, this kind of water heaters with heat pump requiring monthly maintenance, and the maintenance is very simple. You will just need to remove this filter, clean it up, and put this back. That's all maintenance you need to do once in a month. Also, they selling accessories. They selling adapter that you can install in this inlet. And if you want to route hot air from attic to your water heater to be more efficient, you can do it. You can buy this adapter. Or for example, if you installing this water heater in a tight space, for example in closet, then you will need to have additional warm air. So you will need to buy this adapter and route this from somewhere. Now, just in case you need any measurements, so here's so length is about 18 inches, and 7.5 for outlet. For outlet is going to be about 10 inches. Now let me turn this unit on, and we'll measure temperature for air coming in and for air coming out, and also you can hear noise, how much noise it's producing when it's working. So I'm just gonna bump temperature. I'm standing right now 1 meter or 3 feet away from this unit. You can hear how much noise this makes. So it's not so loud, but it's like sounds like old fridge. Also, one thing I noticed, this is standing on this stand which is connected to this wall, and when it works I can hear humming noise in my house. It's not annoying, but I can hear this, just letting you know. Alright, let's measure temperature for inlet and outlet. So for inlet we have about 61.2 Fahrenheit, and for outlet looks like it's still working, but let's say it's 43.5. Yeah, about 43.5. Now let's turn it off. And now let's go through menu. So here's the control panel for this unit. One unfortunate update is screen 2 times smaller than it used to be. So on the previous models I saw like screen, it was a huge screen for this size. Now they made screen only this size, and now we have like these buttons around. So for buttons we have to switch temperature or modes, then we can turn it on or off, we can clear alarms, we can this button is to connect unit to Wi-Fi. It has app, we're gonna review this app in a second, and just like mode next and enter buttons to select different modes. So for modes we have electric mode. In this mode it's gonna work as a standard water heater using these resistance elements and lower resistance elements. It's not gonna use heat pump. Then in evacuation mode it's just going to keep temperature, if I remember correctly, about 60 Fahrenheit. Energy saver mode, it's gonna save as much energy as it can. Then high demand mode is going to engage resistance heating elements and the heat pump to recover hot water as fast as possible. Then heat pump mode, in this mode it's supposed to run heat pump only, and that's all. What I found interesting is when this unit was installed and at first time when it was turned on, I set it heat pump mode, and I found that it's engaging these resistance elements. So that means in the heat pump, it's not only running heat pump, but in some scenarios it will run resistance elements. I sent email to RIM, asked like why it's happening, and they said that they have algorithms inside this unit to like provide hot water depending of usage. So even if we're in the heat pump, it can still engage these resistance elements, and it's gonna draw like 3+ kilowatts of power. What I found in energy saver mode, it's more chances that it's gonna run only heat pump only. So I'm running this in the energy saver mode. So then for menu we have next options here, alarm to beep or not beep. If it's gonna happen, then we can switch temperature display to use Fahrenheit or Celsius. Then we can see how many alarms do we have right now, which is 0. We can see alarm history, and we can clear this history. Then we have this MAC address. I'm not sure what is used for customer, but maybe I know set up something on your Wi-Fi router. Then network instance, I haven't touched this. I set it up Wi-Fi using application, which we're gonna review soon. Then SOV shut-off valve installed, we can select yes or no. We have this in my case, and that's it. That's all information we can see from this control panel. What is unfortunate, we cannot see temperature at lower or higher element. It's hidden now. In the previous versions, when I saw videos when people reviewing these water heaters, it was available for customers. Right now we just cannot see it. Then maybe last update here, maximum temperature for this unit is 150 Fahrenheit. From a control panel, we can select 150, from application only 140. Because on this unit, if I'm gonna select 140, let me show this. So now 140 is maximum, and if I need to set 150, I need to hold plus like up and down for 5 seconds. Now this is unlocked temperature, and we can select 150. Now let's go to app and see what options we have there. So here's a home screen for application. On the top left corner we can access main menu. Here we have account, location settings, voice assistance, and support sections. In account we have your profile, where we can change our first and last name, phone number, email address. Then notification settings, here where in this menu we can subscribe for all kind of spam. Then we have general settings, where we can switch our unit from to show temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit and vice versa. Then we can change set point control, so basically this how we want to adjust temperature using this kind of slider, or we can use plus and minus button to adjust temperature. Next, to use or not to use Face ID. And last one is reset overlay guide. This is going to be a tutorial. When you first time open application, it's going to show you how to control this app. Then in the location settings, first 3 items, locations and product, manage zone names and away settings. I didn't touch this, but this for set geofencing. When you away some amount of miles from water heater, you can turn it off or on. I don't see much usage in it, so I didn't use. What is nice here is a scheduled away vacation settings. If you planning to go to vacation, you can set start and end date, and water heater in this case is not gonna heat water and consume any energy. Just gonna preheat water to some minimum temperature to keep it away from freezing point. Then we can integrate water heater with voice assistant, and then we have support and frequently asked questions. Now on the top right corner is a bell icon. If we're gonna have any notifications from water heater, this is place where we're gonna see them. And now at the bottom we see this card. If I'm gonna press on this, here is a screen where all interesting settings are located. On the left side you can see 4 icons. I'm gonna press first one is a schedule. For schedule we can do any day of a week individually, and for every day we have 4 times available. We cannot add additional time, or we cannot remove any time. So we have like right now 8, 10, 11 and 9 p.m. We cannot remove or add any additional, but for every time we can modify it. For example, instead of 8 I want a 9 a.m. I click save, and now we have different time here. Let me revert it back to 8. So now for every time slot, what we can do here is to adjust our temperature from 110 to 240, and we can set mode we want to run for this time. In my case, I have solar energy, so I want to run water heater only from 10 a.m. to in this case till 9 p.m. when it's gonna switch to vacation, but maybe I want to switch to vacation earlier, for example at 6 p.m. when solar energy not available anymore. Then at the bottom we have toggle to follow schedule. For any day we can uncheck this toggle and not to follow any schedule. And of course we can copy schedule from any day to all of these days. For example, if I want to copy from Wednesday to all other days, I just click copy, and on this screen it's gonna say that we're using Wednesday as an example. So I'm just gonna select all of these days, click save, and we copied the schedule for entire week. Next icon is usage report. This one is interesting. We can see how much energy we consume. For example, today it's 2.28 kilowatt hours of energy. Yesterday it was 295. Inside this graph we can zoom in or zoom out. Then we have this checkbox to see historical data, so I can uncheck this and it's gonna show only today's usage, or it's gonna compare from like previous days. So my daily consumption about like 3 plus minus kilowatt hours. At the bottom we can switch from daily to weekly, monthly, and yearly. So for example, it was installed about 5 days back, and this water heater consumed 18 kilowatts of energy. Next item is a heart icon, is a health for our unit. It shows that leak sensor is connected and the shut-off valve open. Then it shows health for compressor and element health. I don't know how to read these graphs, but it looks like it's healthy. The last one is a connection network settings. So we can see what is the MAC address, what is the AP address, and what is the signal strength. Then here we can adjust temperature. Then we see icon for water heater, and we can see how much hot water we have there. So as I said before, we don't have any information what is the current temperature inside unit. We can only see temperature that we set it we want to be. For example, if I do from 125 to 140, heater is gonna start in a second and this icon will be updated. Yeah, see, this like just reduce amount of hot water we have in this heater. So that's all information we have about amount of hot water inside heater. Then on the left bottom corner we can click on the enable or disable unit, so we can completely turn it off. And here's all modes we have available for this water heater. And that's all. That's quick review for this application and all options we can select from this app. I hope you will find this information useful. You can help this channel by simply press like button, and if you find this content useful, consider subscribing. On this channel we discussing solar systems and all information related to solar energy. And as always, thank you for watching and see you later.